Howdy, Possum Patty here, and I'm just journaling. So why don't you come on along? I do have a whole pile of things. It's all just sitting over here of stuff just from the past, I don't know, about a week or so that I need to get into my journal, that I want to get into my journal. And I think I'm going to start with something very yummy. And we all know that the best part about making chocolate pudding is licking the spoon. So here's what I made. I made a gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cream pie. Now I haven't had one of these in years and years and years and years and years and years. So even though it's a fake chocolate cream pie, to me it was delicious. And I saved the JELL-O cook and serve box because this is what I use, and I want to write down my ingredients. And see, I already have made up tons of journaling cards here. Maybe I could just put it right here. So for this page, all I'm going to do is put down the pictures. Oh, I did save this though. Do I want to put that on there too? What's on this side? Let's see. Just some trees. I could put the chocolate pudding box on this side. Or I could put, how does this go? This goes this way. I can make a little flip out and put one picture underneath. And I can put that up there. And I can put maybe the picture of me licking the spoon and the recipe on the over here. All right, let's go for that. Okay, I just went over to the pile of buckets that's over there. And this is just a page from the gnome book. And since this is my gnome journal, I was looking for something to cover the back of this with. So I'm just going to cut that there and cut a lid off. I don't need that. And what I was thinking is making this a little smaller. So I'm just going to leave, I don't know, like a ½ inch or something. And I did that crooked because I'm very good at crooked. Alright, what do we got here? Alright, so that's going to go up there. I don't think I'm going to put a border because I did print out a border on that one. But this is going to get attached over here. But before I do that, I'm going to cover it with just a bit of paper so I don't have to look at that blank cardboard. And it's not a junk journal unless you put some junk in there. So junk has to go into every journal. Every journal. Every journal. could put that down there. I'll probably write the date up there, and then I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm going to glue that down after I glue on this. So you have to follow a very special recipe if you're using non-dairy milk substitute. You cannot follow the recipe that's on the box. I don't like instant pudding. I like pudding that you have to cook. And Mom used to make it for us all the time when we were little. And I love chocolate. And I love butterscotch pudding. And my brother and I, we always got 2 spoons, and we got to scrape out what was in the pot. And have that for a treat. I also liked the pudding when it got that little darker, harder film across the top of it. I like that. Okay, I'm just going to glue this down, make sure I can bend it there, and then I will come back. So if you go on the JELL-O, JELL-O website, they will give you the substitution for different kinds of milk, you know, soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, and even the different flavors require different amounts. So you really got to pay attention. So like if you're using almond milk and chocolate pudding, you're supposed to use like 1.5 cups instead of 2 cups of regular milk. You use 1.5 cups of almond milk. But you know, when you make a pie, you make it even a little thicker. Thicker. So I used 1.25 cups per box, but I used 2 boxes. So I used 2 boxes of JELL-O and 2.5 cups of almond milk to get a good set. Now the pie crust, you have to bake it. It's already made, but it's you do have to bake it. So you bake the pie crust, and while that's baking, you make your JELL-O. Put it in the pan, and you stir it and stir it. Oh, funny story, when my grandmother lived with us, and she, you know, we liked peanut pudding, but we liked pudding when Mom made it. Because when Grandma made pudding, she never stood at the stove and did that constant stirring. And there was always lumps in the pudding when she made it. And we did not like lumpy pudding. But when it came to lasagna, we had to have Grandma's lasagna. Because she just made it so good. So good. Well, I'm going to write some notes down about the recipe behind my JELL-O thing. And I have a feeling this is going to be popping out. So I have the feeling I'm going to have to put something there to hold that down. And this journaling card is already pre-made, so let me think of something. Okay, my brilliant idea to put a flap to keep this little JELL-O thing closed is to put a eyelet right through the JELL-O box and the card. I should get more into stapling, or get some nice staples or something I could live with, because I really don't like staples. but maybe I just haven't found the right staples yet. Ooh, that worked. Okay, now what I want to do is put a little piece of ribbon, and I know there's ribbon there, but put another piece of ribbon right there. January 5th, chocolate cream pie, chocolate JELL-O cook and serve, a little flap. There's my recipe. There's me. And this can keep that closed like that. I just put a little bit of this kind of ropey trim here. It's from the same set as that silver ribbon. I had bought these at Michael's, I guess it was on sale. I did not pay $16.99 for these. Probably more like $5 or something. So it's kind of like this one's on that side and that one's on that side, but I have a space. What should I put? What should I put? Should I put yummy yummy? Yum. Write something. I'm just going to write yum. Y-U-M. Yum. Because I haven't had chocolate cream pie in probably 15, 20 years. And I finally made a gluten-free, dairy-free pie for me. Now all I have to do is put this in the pocket. And that is done. All right, now the next page has journaling cards, which are over here. He's out in the snow. And this is, of course, this whole section's about the winter, so it's all about snow. And I made these cards last year when I was working on the journal. And I kind of distressed it, put a picture, put eyelet. I drew the lines. And these two go in here. So this would be very appropriate for today because today is Wednesday. And I can go ahead and do a little walk on the wild side Wednesday and put in my nature journaling about the snowstorm. Which I have to go through my pile of stuff here. This is all the stuff that I want to journal about. Okay, now let me go find those pictures. Okay, before the snowstorm was over, I went out with my 15-inch ruler and measured 13 inches almost exactly. But it did snow for another 2 or 3 hours. And they said on television it was snowing at the rate of 1 or 2 inches per hour. But I don't think we got more than, say, 15 inches, maybe. And I didn't go out and remeasure, which I should have, but that's close enough. And besides which, the snow started blowing around, and it's hard to get an accurate measure when the snow is blowing like that. And this is what I call a Marshmallow World, when the snow covers all the rocks, and there's a little shed in the back that's bright yellow. I thought that'd be a pretty picture to put in there. And I could do a little bit of journaling. And I have this snowman white chocolate dairy-free candy bar that my sister gave me. And for some reason I want to put this in here somewhere. Don't ask me why. Maybe on here. Let me think about that. So I feel like I need to border these pictures with red. Maybe because there's red lines, I don't know. But I am going to border them with red, but now I feel like I need to just stress with black. And before I do that, trim the corners. So after snow, I love to go out and walk around carefully. And I followed the tracks of a deer, or a couple of deer, around the yard. And wow, they remembered exactly where every shrub that we planted last year was. Well, last winter, they went around and ate every shrub. This winter, they came around and went straight, without wavering, ate from one shrub to the next shrub to the next shrub to the next shrub. But we had covered, well, we thought we had covered them all with netting so the deer couldn't eat them this year. And I did find one that we overlooked that did not get covered. And yep, they munched away on it. I don't want to cover my little Nomi there. I might put, what's up with that one at the top? Yeah. Put this one at the bottom. So that was interesting, tracking the deer around and how they remembered where every shrub was. But didn't get to eat them this time. Except for the one. They ate the one. And I was looking at some flower stalks from last summer, from the past summer, sticking up through the snow, and I thought the goldenrod seed heads very fluffy and very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and I don't want to cover up my Nomi, but I do need some room to write, don't I? Okay, so I will write down here. You didn't notice, but I was gone for a few minutes here. I was looking up the official snow total for my town, and I couldn't find it, but the town next to us was 14.8 inches. So this is taken before a snowfall ended. So my guess for January 7th snowstorm is right around 15 inches, and that was correct. I did my journaling, followed deer tracks through a marshmallow world. I'm not going to do anything on this side, but on this card, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. And I'm going to put him down here and do a little bit of journaling, and then put a picture of me feeding the birds, because I fed the birds, had to tromp out through the snow to feed the birds. So I'm waiting for a email that I sent myself to show up on my phone so I can print out that picture, because I run my printer with my phone. I might have to try sending that if it doesn't come pretty soon. Let's see, double-sided tape. I love the colors in this. Reminds me of that Amazon Christmas catalog that was sent out to everybody. And I just noticed as I was using the double-sided tape to put this down that there's a dragon breathing fire through the woods coming towards the snowman. And look, there's the dragon's tail. I did not even notice that at first. Love it. Moo free. No dairy. And I'm going to do my journaling. And I cut off the bottom, but it says, for dairy dodging Christmas chalky chompers. I thought that was cute. So I'm going to use my white Uniball to write on this red paper here. And let's see, what day was this? Yeah, I think this was the next day, January 8th. Oh, I have two of these pens. One works better than the other. January 8th. Outside to feed I can't write too fast. The birds. Okay, let that dry for a second. I should have done the other side first. And there's the photo of me going out to feed the birds through the snow. Looks really nice on this side of the tag. And I did add for dairy dodging Christmas chalky chompers to my journaling card, because you know what, I had that space there. So why not? Just had to add some junk there. So all I have to do now is to slip these inside here. There's one. And there's two. I don't know which side I should put it on. Like so. And I have finished 2 pages of journaling for this week. I got my chocolate cream pie, got my snowstorm, and my going out to feed the birds. So I just want to thank you for coming along today. And happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.